NFL continues to rocket toward the draft. It's just 22 days away. The Jets made the big move this week, trading Sam Darnold to the Panthers. And now they, much like the 49ers last week, and I really do appreciate that teams are spacing these out. It would be too much to deal with all at once. But just like the 49ers last week, when Kyle Shanahan knew you don't have to be coy anymore, everybody knows you're taking a quarterback at number 3. Everybody knows that's what the Jets are doing at number 2. Here is Joe Douglas, the general manager of the Jets, yesterday on the topic of whether they have locked in to taking a quarterback at number 2 now that they've just traded their starter away.
I think that's a fair assessment to say, Rich. I think based on the decision we made yesterday, you can kind of see the direction we're heading.
What did you think of Steve Young's comments on the radio? Apparently he did some detective work and spoke to some members of the coaching staff, and he said the Jets are, quote, committed to Zach Wilson.
Steve's plugged into BYU pretty well. I know it was good being out there at the pro day and just had an opportunity to, speak to his representatives, say hello to a couple members of his family quickly. BYU put on a great pro day for the entire NFL, first class organization. And it was a good day out there. Like I said, we're excited about this class and we're excited about this quarterback class.
Yeah, they're taking Zach Wilson. And isn't it funny to see the demeanor, how relaxed?
Right? He's changed.
Smiling.
He's smiling.
Yeah.
It's the first thing that I noticed.
Don't have to watch every single word that is formulated by your mouth.
Yeah.
Just it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Worst case scenario is the Jaguars take Zach Wilson, which they aren't going to do, and we get Trevor Lawrence. Oh, well. Hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, it's I agree with you. I think that's the first thing that jumped out to me. The pressure's off of the situation in general, in a lot of ways. One, they figured out how to deal Sam Darnold and got, good compensation back for that. Two, they can now look to the future and go, wait, okay, we know who we got coming in here. This is cool. We could start thinking about our offense a little bit, how we want to play with this guy, all of that type of stuff. And, I think I lost my train of thought here, but and then of course I think the third thing is, well, I forgot it. I forgot what I was going to say. I had one more point I wanted to make. But either way, you can't be happy.
You're flummoxed by the picks that the Jets have.
It totally messed my mojo up there. I looked at the graphic and I started going into it. But either way, you see the moves they made here. And, Joe Douglas is sitting in a power position for the next 2 years. For a team that's real crappy in a bad spot, now he's got his quarterback. And here's the thing I was going to say. He's also happy. The third thing I was going to say is because people and public perception has gotten behind Zach Wilson. That it's changed. I think everybody now, hey, listen, everybody knew what Trevor Lawrence was. I think 2 months ago, Zach Wilson was still a question mark for people. The casual fan who's not in the weeds like you and I or other people who are really just all over NFL football every day. But I think that, through this process, what they've seen is you see highlights and, hey, a lot of fans and people go off what they see on highlights. And here in New York, I can speak to specifically why they didn't get behind Daniel Jones. One of the reasons was I have a lot of friends. They used to go, I don't get it. I see the highlights, and they're not even that great of highlights. Well, how could he be the number 6 pick in the draft? There's something to that. And I think people have watched the Jets and Zach Wilson, and they've seen all these, highlight shows and everything like that. And I think even to the novice, you have to look at it a little and go, damn, I don't know. It just looks cool and looks good. And then when you have the pro day off of it that also looked wow, right? I think now it's just like, man, Joe Douglas is feeling himself. He's going, all right, got rid of the quarterback. We're going into the future. I got a guy I've had my eye on for a long time here because we've heard rumors about Joe Douglas liking Zach Wilson from about the halfway point of the year. And now Zach Wilson helped him out to confirm that, like, hey, I am the man. I'm worth the number 2 pick. And that's why I think we got a happy Joe Douglas.
Yeah, and I think part of the reality for Jets fans and most football fans, college was such a strange season this year. And
yeah, it was.
You never quite knew who was playing when, or it all kind of got thrown together, and it was the big schools that got the most attention. And I don't know, just not like BYU's, anybody that's going to get a ton of a following or or a focus.
Well, that's what happened.
I think that
You're
played
right.
into it too.
Yes.
Yeah, and now people are waking up to it. Of course, he is a boomer bust prospect. Zach Wilson, that was big news over the weekend. Boomer bust prospect. Yeah, they all are boomer bust prospects.
Exactly.
Every first-round pick is a boomer bust prospect. But the Jets, who rolled the dice on a boomer bust prospect 3 years ago with Sam Darnold, they're right back there again. They're trying to get their franchise quarterback, and this is the way you do it. And it's obvious they're going to have a quarterback. And as Joe Douglas said, keeping Sam Darnold wouldn't have been the best situation for anyone, especially not for the Jets, because now under the CBA, if you pick up the option, it's not just guaranteed for injury, it's fully guaranteed. They'd have been in for $24 million or so for Sam Darnold over the next 2 years while they're paying Zach Wilson what the second overall pick in the draft gets.
No, and it's just that would be a horrible situation. I mean, just horrible. And nobody wants to deal with that. All the focus of the Jets after the draft would just be on the quarterbacks and, who's going to get the first reps and is it going to be a fair competition? And it's like what we talked about with the 49ers. If, they're going to draft the quarterback at 3, and, of course, I think it's Mac Jones. If they have him and Jimmy Garoppolo in the locker room, that doesn't make sense to me. That does not. And that would be the same here. That's how you divide a locker room, and that's how you can ruin a football team. So I think it's smart that they did it now. They acted fast, probably why they realized, hey, there's some teams out there, and there's not that many spots to be filled. Let's try to make something happen. And obviously Carolina had a liking for Sam Darnold. So, great move by them, especially if you believe, like I believe, that Zach Wilson can be an Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes type talent. And that would always bring a smile to your face if you think that and you're an evaluator.
The difference, too, between the Jets and the 49ers is this. The deadline for the money becoming guaranteed for Sam Darnold is May 3.
Yeah.
For Jimmy Garoppolo, the deadline is basically week 1 of the regular season. There's no triggers this year of his contract that forces any sooner action. So the 49ers have the luxury of waiting to see if an opportunity arises, and all it takes is one fluke injury, and an opportunity arises to trade Jimmy Garoppolo and get real value for him. If you're willing to carry the $25 million cap charge, and if you're willing to deal with the potential that we've discussed on multiple occasions for locker room turmoil as some players line up behind Garoppolo and others line up behind Mac Jones or whoever they take with the 3rd overall pick.
Yeah.
But the Jets, because of that May 3rd deadline, they needed to do something sooner than later, and they recognized their best deal was to just go ahead and get it done now.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.